For many of us who encountered season back in our childhood, this guy was the first shock.
Fabien Ramirez.
A foreigner on a graffitied motorcycle. A physical presence unlike anything Malayalam cinema had offered until then. Cool, dangerous, and stylish. It was easy to mistake him for novelty, to assume his impact came from his appearance, his accent, or the sheer unfamiliarity of a white antagonist in Kovalam's sunlit landscape. But time changes the way we see characters. On a serious rewatch, Fabien no longer feels like a stylistic flourish or a masala villain inserted for thrill. He reveals himself as something far more deliberate. Padmarajan constructs him with precision. His presence reshapes the narrative. More importantly, he reshapes the protagonist, Jeevan. That is where season becomes extraordinary. For those who love season, the pleasure lies not only in its atmosphere or its cult aura, but in the way its antagonist is written. I would argue that Padmarajan was not merely crafting a memorable villain. He was engineering a collision that would give rise to Malayalam cinema's own Dark Knight through Jeevan. Once again, let's look at Season, written and directed by Padmarajan. First to soak ourselves in nostalgia, but more importantly, to examine what truly makes Season endure and why Fabien stands as one of the best villains ever written in Malayalam cinema history. Welcome to Jeevan's Kovalam of the 80s. Before examining Fabien in detail, it is useful to pause and clarify what an antagonist truly is. In popular discourse, the antagonist is often reduced to the villain, the obstacle standing in the hero's way. But in narrative theory, the idea is more precise. The screenwriting theorist John Truby defines a true opponent as someone who does not merely block the hero's desire, but competes with the hero for the very same goal. Let's test this theory over The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Its antagonist, the Joker, portrayed memorably by Heath Ledger, is widely regarded as one of the modern cinema's most compelling villains. At first glance, the Joker and Batman appear to want opposite things: chaos versus order.
Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos.
Yet beneath that opposition lies competition. Both seek to define what the city will become.
You didn't think I'd risk losing the battle for Gotham's soul in a fistfight with you?
They are not moving in separate directions, but they are wrestling over the same moral territory. If this framework holds in Dark Knight to make it great, is it worth asking whether it applies to Season? Fabien's objective is deceptively simple: to execute the most profitable scam of the tourist season. But this is precisely Jeevan's objective as well. Jeevan may be operating with a polish and paternal warmth, but he is equally invested in securing the most lucrative deal. His restaurant and his foreign goods network are designed to capitalize on the seasonal flow of money. The drug transaction with Fabien is merely a more ruthless variation of the same impulse. The difference between Jeevan and Fabien lies in the method, not ambition.
Secret. ഇവിടെ ആർക്കും അറിയാത്ത പോലെ ഇങ്ങേരുടെ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് ബ്രൗൺ ഷുഗറും കഞ്ചാവും ഒന്നും അല്ലെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കാം.
പുള്ളിക്ക് അതിന്റെ ഒന്നും ഇടപാടില്ല. പുള്ളിയുടെ ബിസിനസ് എല്ലാം ഫോറിൻ കറൻസി, ഫോറിൻ ഗുഡ്സ്.
Jeevan recruits unemployed local youth into his smuggling network, operating through trust and hierarchy. Fabien recruits accomplices, including his own partner, but only to discard them once their utility expires. Jeevan's enterprise resembles a structured corporation, while Fabien's resembles predation. Yet, both men exist outside the law. Both manipulate others to secure profit. Both seek dominance within the same seasonal economy. In that sense, Fabien is not an accidental villain inserted into Jeevan's life. He is a competitor, entering the same arena. And once we recognize that shared goal, the best catch of the season, the conflict in season begins to reveal its deeper design. Fabien's competition for the same goal establishes him as an antagonist. But what elevates him into a great antagonist is not the rivalry alone. It is the transformation he triggers. The story theorist Robert McKee argues that the true character is revealed through choice under pressure. A person's essence does not emerge in comfort but in dilemma.
അറിഞ്ഞോ
എന്ത്?
കടപ്പുറത്ത് പൊറിഞ്ചുവിന്റെ പ്രേതം അടിഞ്ഞു കിടക്കുന്നു. ആരും അടുത്തിട്ടില്ല. പോലീസ് വരാൻ വേണ്ടി നോക്കി നിൽക്കുക എല്ലാവരും. പോലീസ് വല്ലതും ചോദിച്ചാൽ എന്തിനു പറയണം? ഒന്നും അറിഞ്ഞൂടാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാ മതിയോ?
ഒന്നും അറിഞ്ഞൂടല്ലോ.
അയ്യപ്പൻ സ്വാമി സത്യം അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ.
അപ്പൊ അതങ്ങ് പറഞ്ഞാ മതി.
The greater the pressure, the more honest the revelation. Jeevan begins the film as an enigma, a mystery. Even those closest to him know very little of his past. He is wealthy, self-contained and respected. A friendly neighborhood smuggler, you can call him, whose operations seem to benefit everyone around him. Rumors suggest that he once arrived in Kovalam with wandering foreigners and somehow built an empire from the shore.
ആദ്യം കോവളത്ത് വന്ന് വെട്ട ബാച്ചിലുള്ളതാ. ഒരു 70-75 ഹിപ്പികളുടെ കാലത്ത് വന്നാന്നാ പറയുന്നത്. ഏതായാലും കയ്യും വീശി വന്നവനാ.
എവിടുന്ന്?
തങ്കശ്ശേരിയാന്നും പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, ഫോർട്ട് കൊച്ചിയാന്നും പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, കണ്ണൂരിന്നാന്നും പറയുന്നവരുണ്ട്. ചോദിച്ചാ അങ്ങനെ ഇതെല്ലാമാണെന്ന് പറയും.
His origins are obscure, his present is polished. He smiles easily, speaks gently, and appears always in control. Jeevan funds Porinju and Kanti's drug deal with the condition that they abandon the trade afterward. His warning tone suggests concern rather than greed. Even his illegal trade in foreign goods seems sanitized by the affection others feel towards him. As McKee suggests, the story is structured precisely to test the protagonist's self-image. And Fabien dismantles this self-image of Jeevan systematically. First comes the financial and emotional blow. Porinju is shot and the drugs financed by Jeevan disappear. Then his savings are stolen from his own home. Then Kanti is killed, proving that Fabien cannot be outplayed. Finally, Jeevan is imprisoned for Merlin's death, trapped by circumstances and suspicion. Each act tightens the pressure, and under that pressure, Jeevan changes.
കൊല്ലാൻ കഴിവില്ലാത്തോണ്ട് പറയാ. എവിടേക്കെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് പോ.
A man who once seemed incapable of direct violence evolves into someone capable of calculated murder.
പുറത്ത് കിട്ടിയ 8 മാസം കൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എല്ലാം പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. തീയതിയും ആളും സമയവും എല്ലാം.
The shift is not impulsive, it is deliberate. Fabien does not merely injure Jeevan's business, he strips away his moral facade. The most striking aspect of Jeevan's revenge is its symmetry. He agrees to help Fabien escape in exchange of 5 lakhs rupees. He re-enters the prison deliberately to execute the plan. He facilitates their escape. He collects the money and then he kills Fabien. Jeevan adopts Fabien's own tactics. Deception masked as partnership, collaboration used as bait, and elimination at the moment of advantage. The corporate smuggler in Jeevan adopts a barbarian code. There is a scene in the movie where Jeevan, Fabien, and a priest who steals idols of deities talk.
എന്റെ ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പാ, ഈ അസുരന്മാരെ ഇടന്ന് എത്രയും വേഗം എന്നെ രക്ഷപ്പെടുത്തി തരണേ.
അല്ല, അപ്പോ തിരുമേനിയുടെ കാര്യോ? അസുരനല്ലെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ ആരാ? ദേവനാ?
അത് ഇതുപോലെയാ.
പിന്നല്ലാതെ ഇതും മോഷണം അതും മോഷണം.
അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞാ എങ്ങനെ ശരിയാവണേ?
എന്താ ശരിയായാലേ?
മയക്കുപിടി മോഷിച്ചോണ്ട് പോണ പോലെയാണോ ഭഗവാന്റെ വിഗ്രഹം മോഷിച്ചോണ്ട് പോണത്? രണ്ടും ഒരുപോലെയാണോ പറയണേ? മയക്കുപിടിയും ഭഗവാനും. എന്റെ കൃഷ്ണ,
കള്ളന്റെ കസ്റ്റഡിയിൽ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോ രണ്ടും ഒരുപോലെ അല്ലേ?
അത് താൻ പറഞ്ഞ് ശരിയാന്ന് തോന്നണേ.
This confession is not just casual dialogue, it is thematic resolution. Jeevan recognizes that his moral distinctions were self-serving. The man who once differentiated himself from the narcotic traffickers now admits that a criminal remains a criminal regardless of the object stolen. be it drugs, foreign goods, or even sacred idols. Again, this transformation invites comparison with The Dark Knight. In Dark Knight, Batman reflects on his own descent with this line.
You're either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I can do those things because I'm not a hero. I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be.
A statement that captures a hero who accepts moral darkness as necessity. Towards season's end, this resonance with Batman becomes more striking. As he drives back toward prison, he notes that
പക്ഷേ ഒരു ആശ്വാസമുണ്ട്. ഇപ്രാവശ്യം എനിക്കെതിരെ സാഹചര്യ തെളിവുകളൊന്നുമില്ല. ഉള്ളത് മുഴുവൻ തെളിവുകളാണ്. എൻ്റെ ദേഹത്തും ഷർട്ടിലും വരെ തെളിവുകൾ. മറ്റതുമായി തട്ടിച്ചു നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇതിനൊരുപാട് സുഖമുണ്ട്.
he returns to prison smiling with a trace of satisfaction as he did once before. Justice in his mind has been achieved. But the cost is irreversible. The smiling uncle has become indistinguishable from the psychopath he hunted. Jeevan knows that he was never a hero, only a man who believed he was different from other criminals. The point where he accepts that fact, he becomes the Dark Knight. Viewed today, Season feels startlingly modern. Its antagonist is not flamboyant for spectacle's sake, nor his protagonist is a conventional hero. Instead, the film constructs a psychological duel in which both men compete for the same territory and ultimately mirror one another. Without Fabien, Jeevan remains a respected smuggler with a mysterious past. But with Fabien, Jeevan becomes a self-aware killer who acknowledges his own criminal nature. In that transformation lies the enduring power of Season. It is not simply a story about revenge. It is a meditation on rivalry, moral self-deception, and a thin line separating order from chaos within the same human heart. Some films demand time before their true shape becomes visible. For me, Season is one of them.